you know, you look at the other round as we're looking at some of the replays.
Oh,
of
sorry,
action.
this is Sentinels pick, as I
Correct.
mistake that. Thank you.
Yeah. We saw the conversation was, will Shazam play Jet? We saw him with Op in the last round be devastating, and he has a Blade Storm this time around. Let's see if he chooses to trigger it.
I gotta stop writing my bans and picks like this. I always read the wrong ones. It's plaguing me. Push to it. No kills. I don't know how that didn't go through yet. Thief with the fucking on the backside. They're not looking though, and he almost picks another pocket. That's going to be Tens getting himself in with the rest of the team. Dapper and the squad is now feeling pretty good about the situation as they back up. They feel like they may have them on a scramble, and Stellar is right there to tell them, nah, we are not on the back foot. It is a 3v3, and they're prepared to keep defending.
Riv, that pinch was nasty. The paranoia comes out from Dre across ramps. Thief comes in with the backside with the buck. He blows him up. That was absolutely beautiful. But now, as you mentioned, we're down to this 3v3. Stellar, certainly worse for wear. Only has 9 armor and 80 health to work with. The spike is going to go down. You see Sentinel start to assume some post plants. Really good position here from Zombs. And the thing is here for Luminosity, they're going to have to deal... Yeah, that... Zombs can be a serious problem here. He's already put out the paranoia. Great wall there as well. Very few options for entry here if you're Luminosity. They're going to have to go. The discipline box has to be checked. It does get checked, but not before one drop. Sick comes up with 2. Sentinels get to 4.
I like it. Sick creating a few angles with that wall, making sure that they'll be able to get what they need on a 3v3 defense with Luminosity knocking at the door. Sentinels feeling nice here as they're on the attack. Shazam up top, 7-4. Dropping it on the Jet this time. 10 still right behind a 4-4 as the rest of the team's feeling good as they frag out.
And then Riv Sick again, right? This time on the Sage, but at 5-1, he's feeling good as well. So we're seeing a lot of the same performance, regardless of the agent that he's on. It seems like the results are the same.
All right, nades through, nades over. They're trying to play off. Maybe Luminosity's getting early info, and they go straight brazen for the ult point. A third trade. This is going to come in with the classic. Yes, Tens finds it. He knows exactly how much damage he did, how much he peppered Stellar, and throws a few more 9mm his way. There it is with the peek around. Your boy Dre getting lucky with that. Bucky with a quick slug shot. Shazam makes quick work of that trade. In a round that easily should be going to Sentinels. They've lost 2. Let's see if Thief can do a little more eco damage here before he gets taken down, if that happens.
And you know, for Thief, you could or just take it offline like that, right? That obviously helps. Shazam takes care of them. Thief drops. Sentinels are going to win the round. But one thing I was going to say was there, if you can draw at least one of those ultimates out, that's even like that's compounding win, right? Because you're breaking their economy and you're removing a pivotal tool that could be brought into the next round.
See it right here. Just easy cleanup, easy patience, communication, and they're not sweating any of these rounds at all. This one might be a little bit different. Talking about those ults 5 ready on that side. This is where it can be a big impact. You always got to look at round 5, 6, 7. Even 8. Oh, a little short on that, thinking he maybe caught close. Moose gets out of this one. I thought that was going to be much more dead to rights than it was, but he's going to be walking or limping around. Maybe hopefully it's finding Stellar to get that HP back up. And with the spike down, again, Sentinels feel decent about this start. They know they can get into the site with confidence, that they might be able to find a pretty weak Moose. He has gone over to Stellar to get healed now, and they reset for the A hit, Doug. Nice push-up by Shazam, too.
Yeah, and Dapper gets the kill on the Thief. That's going to give him ramps control. You see the smokes coming out. They want to play towards A, and it's actually Stellar who's kind of left alone here. He's got to go big. Good for 1.
Everybody's on the ramp. Why? Somebody come into sight with me, he's saying. A little bit of miscomm there. I think they were okay with what they were taking. Luminosity has been giving them a lot of ground, so not a problem that they did that, but I feel like a few more should have went into sight as the spike stayed ramp. And maybe around the world strat was a thing they had in mind the whole time.
And if Tens can continue to draw attention over by A, maybe pull some of the members back, but at this point, there are no secrets. The veil has been lifted. They know they're going to be Dre. Good for 1. He's going to drop at the hands of Shazam. but the spike goes down as well. 13 seconds left on the clock. They should be able to get the spike down with relative ease, and now they're going to assume their post plants. Again, keep an eye on Tens on the other side of the map. He has a showstopper. He can really blow this thing up, and the wall's there to... Oh, that's big. Moose is back online. Tens gets one.
Goes for the pre-fire. Knows there's going to be a few there on the other side. Hits the first shot, expecting a second. Up over the shoulder is going to be the paint shells, but it's not enough to get the kill on Stellar, rather. And he's forced to save. Yeah, there's a heal there, but it's not going to be enough time. They also need to recoup a few of these rounds. And you mentioned Tens being off on the side, Doug. That happened as everybody on Sentinels was taking sight. And there was no movement from Tens. They were still ready to play across the map. The confidence in just the squads they're running right now to make things happen is allowing them to pick Luminosity apart. He still had the flank. He still caused a bunch of trouble in the end. And that's what Sentinels is leaving themselves open to in the end, is having those options.
Yep. Absolutely. And, you know, you see oftentimes plays like that, they go sideways, right? Like if the hit on the actual hit doesn't work out, you've got one, maybe two members on the other side of the map who can't show up to help in time, and you lose control and you're in a 1vx and, you know, everything just kind of goes kaput. But there, Sentinels play that so well. Tens continues to cause problems. He continues to draw attention. Jet, Raze, it doesn't matter. The Tens effect is still online.
It's pretty wild that he has that kind of presence, that aura, every time that he plays. Shazam here with the Blade Storm. LG now trying to be the first one to get that aggression in mid. What Sentinels love so much. At least get to the top of the stairs and start reading the map. LG tries to put their foot forward here. Loses 3 immediately on the round for just a Zombs Nation. Feels like a lot more. See what happens here as they continue to play slowly. And nobody else today has pushed up. It's all going to be the work of a Proto now. I mean, they're coming to him. Does he have what it takes?
I think here we saw this on Ascent, right, where Luminosity and a pistol dial up something special.
Yep.
And it just hasn't. Riv, it's been close, right? Again, they've played on Knife's Edge. They've been just on the precipice of doing something absolutely insane, but it just hasn't panned out for Luminosity here. We see first map go Sentinel's way. This second map, excuse me. Certainly seeming to follow suit as Sentinels take a 6-round lead. Luminosity once again kind of left looking for answers here.
And I think this is one side of the coin. I said there's really no middle ground coming into this matchup for Luminosity versus Sentinels. They're feeling a bit of a honeymoon phase here, and they know they don't have to rein in Tens at all. Let him do what he wants to do. No second-guessing corners for everyone on site takes or retakes, and it's just a really great flow when you're feeling that on the team. Comms are clean, and so are the shots right now. Shazam and Ten still top of the board here for the side of Sentinels as they go for this pre-nade on B each time. Just showing themselves everywhere for a bit of default. They might work this one a little bit faster. They haven't dropped the spike just yet. That will give you a bit to pause for each round. And here again, they walk up towards mid, grab that info, cut off any quick rotations that would come from vent to mailroom. And now they control a little bit more of the map with still having Dapper on that A side.
But they've also pushed all the way at B lobby, so they know you can't go into heaven. You know you've gotten in through B. They've taken all that space away, and Sentinels aren't ready for it. Zombs already drops. Luminosity, for the first time really the entire map, Riv, have taken aggressive control of a spot where Sentinels wasn't expecting it.
So good. Seeing the push on Sentinels. When you're down 7-1, plays like that need to be made. You can't sit back. You can't just say, we'll play the longer corner or the off angle and hope they come to us. Good moves by Luminosity to start making Sentinels play a little sweaty on this one. Changing up the strat. It seems like the audible goes towards A through vents here. That's known. The pinch from both sides, and LG has read this like a book here coming into round 9. That's theirs, and it's a flawless round.
Exactly what the doctor ordered, Riv. And even so after they play the beginning of the map so well, you see Sick and Sentinels, they still manage to get their way into B heaven, and they throw the wall up to block off anyone coming in from the defender spawn.
Yep.
Suggesting that that's where the play's going to go, that they want to funnel in through heaven, they want to get onto B, and they want to make a play happen there. But even with that, as soon as that wall goes up, they send everything through mid towards A, and I mean, numbers-wise, Luminosity looked like they were at a disadvantage, but there's the filthy, crispy shots that we've grown to expect from Luminosity that just stuff the push.
I think they push up here with the operator towards B main on the side of Sentinels. A quick hold by Shazam there on that. Maybe grab the Alt Orb in the end. He has Blade Storm if he needs it. Dapper is on deck for that neural uplink. And they may just want to get this over to the hands of Tens. He's on the other side of the map. He's 2 away from ulti, so they're not going to be trying to work that too much. B could be the ender here. 6 ready with the wall. The rest of the team starting to rotate over. And it looks like Dapper is going to be your floater in mid to make sure nobody gets across safely, if that is the rotation of Luminosity.
I had a friend refer to it as the sniffer.
Oh.
Someone who's sniffing out the flanks. I still don't know if I love it. I'm admittedly undecided on sniffer.
Yeah. A lot of bad smells out there.
Zom's using from the shadows to get behind enemy lines, but Luminosity once again handle it just fine. A Proto shot seems to have come online, and it could not have come at a better moment. Sentinels down to 2 members left. That wall's going to go up. Proto rips another one down from the skies as Ray and the rest of Luminosity get a flawless round. Back-to-back Riv.
That's it. The back-to-back. And the way that happened there is showing so much confidence for Luminosity, for a Cypher and an Omen to be the ones ready to retake a site without the rest of the team there, which would have been your Raze and your Reyna. A really good Lear, your good retake for Roomba and Nade. So that's some confidence right there. Sometimes you can say it's a little boneheaded, but they made it work because they are absolutely feeling it. Being able to retake the site with 2 shows Luminosity is definitely not out of this one yet. We're coming into round 11 here. 2 more in our first half. Let's see if Luminosity can pick up these last 2.
Yeah, you're starting to see some of the financial impact of what Luminosity's been able to do. Shazam using the Blade Storm, and he has a Bucky in his back pocket, which is always fun in the hands of a Jet. But you're seeing, again, some of that impact. No rifles. 10's just 1 point away from the showstopper, but it looks like they aren't even going to play around that. The spike is down, but they've taken this area of the map for now.
Yeah, the blind and dash up top. Oh, wow. Dude. Proto with a 1-tap. You have to watch out for this guy all the time. Oh, gross. Again, not watching out for this guy. A Proto comes up with another one. Dapper's going to try to do the same. Cypher Diff's coming up big here, but he gets dropped by Moose from a quick clothesline coming out of B stairs. And what do they do to rectify this situation? This could still be jumped over. They're going to try and get him back in the game. Nice wall to block off that possible takedown on the res, but this one has started off quick, and Luminosity's aim is coming online.
Proto's just been clicking, man, and this is what we've wanted. This is what we've been waiting for this entire series. They're at a numbers advantage here. The thing is, as Sick and Zoms, they're healthy, right? They're well, not healthy anymore. Sick drops. Zoms trades out a Proto, though. 2v3. But Moose good for 3, not able to get the 4th. Zoms taps on the plant. He's only got 8 seconds. There's not really a lot of time for mind games. You kind of have to commit to it here. See Luminosity pushing in from a couple of different angles. Zoms, Telly's out for the post plants, and Dre's crispy clean shots secure the round for Luminosity. Again, I believe, Riv, what's that, 3 in a row?
Yeah, they're stringing them together now. They're going to start putting Sentinels in a bit of a hurt position here for the last round. They obviously have to force out, but we'll see if they are on that light armor. These shots from a Proto, just, oh, one more? Thanks. Some of those feel good, though, especially if you're a Cypher that plays B a lot. Sometimes that angle feels comfortable, and you set yourself up for it all the time. The drop down into hell seemed to wiggle around a bit more, lost that firefight as it could have happened, so you're really, really looking comfortable in B, and we'll see if Sentinels decides to try that one more time here. Last round of our first half, map 2, as Sentinels did take map 1.
Operator in the hands of Thieves, 2 SMGs in the hands of Tens and Dapper. So as we mentioned, the financial implications of what Luminosity's been able to do the last couple of rounds really coming online. Now if you're Sentinels, I mean, given the filthy business that a Proto's given you the last couple of rounds, there's no way you sniff towards B anymore.
Not a whole lot of A-love this map from Sentinels. They're going to work mid if they are going there. Here is one of the second full A through ramps.
Yeah.
And Thief's going to say, hey, hello, I have an arsenal over here as he quickly switches. So they may think there's already 2 back screens, but he's going to be the one double gunning as the trade kill comes. Seemed Down, not a problem there. We see these few rounds. 10s with a 3K here. Ba-da-bop. Classic with cheese. Thank you very much. Picks up another one. And the rest of the round really seemed to turn around. LG started taking a bit more ground. We saw the pushes from B, taking Zoms off at one point. A little more control over mid. Almost as soon as you mentioned it here, Proto with some beautiful shots. Sick switched it up. I'm sorry, not Sick. Stellar switched it up. Went from the B position of walling off garage to mid, and it seemed to level things out a little bit. Now, let's see what they can do on attack, Doug.
Lot of noise, B. Whole lot of noise, and some utility used as well. Well, Satchel there to try to clear out any sort of an aggressive utility. But meanwhile, the play is actually onto A, and you see them bite. Look at the middle of the map. Look at B Heaven. They're committed here. They're totally biting on what's happening. It's just sick over on A.
A few nades, a good wall there that they threw out. And now they're going to leave. So this, without too much of a hit happening over at A, and the fact that they did get walled and the wall was broken, then they know it's a default now. Sentinels can play this with much more knowledge, and they just have to worry about losing the ground they did in mid during the rotation. You can already see here, Moose moving up first. Races are going to meet 10s on the other side, and he's going to meet a lot of friends on this one. Family photo coming across. Thief picks that one up the frenzy, and they're going to gain a bit of ground and be Heaven.
Got so much information with that Roomba. Shazam dashing away, preserving his life. As members of Sentinels make their way through the defender spawn. Great paranoia to come through. Keep an eye on the fact that they have pressure from multiple sides. They can really pinch in members of Luminosity, but it seems like Luminosity, they're able to fight back just fine. Drops things down to a 2v2. Thief's Frenzy gives Shazam the fits, and it's all up to Zoms.
I feel like he has a
1v2 here.
scope on that thing.
He's got a classic. He's got time. What he doesn't have is friends. Alone here, trying to work his way around the map. That should give a decent idea of where Zoms is going to be coming from. Drops down as the clock continues to tick away. Spots one player, Thief with the frenzy. Yet again, a 3K for him. The pistols are so good for Luminosity.
They really, really are. A slight chance there, too, for Zoms to get that calibration on his shot as Thief brought the recoil back down. And that looks good. The next few rounds, if Luminosity can get these, they put Sentinels in a tight spot here. How good is their attack going to be? We saw Luminosity on Ascent slowing down a bit too much for their default, and Sentinels started to pick it apart. 10s will love to wait all round to find the fight with you if you're not just going to dive into his face. So maybe throwing him off again, that early angle, disrupt it, and replay the strat, even if it's the same one. Spike's down here, so again, we see that wait and how quick they play it is going to be what will follow for the rest of these rounds.
Interesting. So Luminosity knew that the cam was there in the last round, the exact same spot, and they used the satchel to clear it. This time, Raze is not there. It doesn't get cleared out. There's so much info gathered there, Riv. He just has to look, as he does right there, tags up Stellar, understands that that's not where the play is.
Yeah. A little bits of info, and you can kind of see confidence in their movement, too. Were they backpedaling? Had they turned away when you saw them? And now the spike's getting picked up. Good positioning so far. I think Sentinels knows what they have lost here in terms of ground, though. You can see them already looking towards Vent, saying, hey, mid wasn't covered for a bit. We need to back up. And they are really looking to do eco damage this round. They didn't run forward. We saw Sentinels do that on Ascent, second half on the round that they lost. This time, they're playing it patient, and they want to deny LG guns for next round.
It's interesting to see them all really hunkered down on site proper, not playing off for a retake. They're up close and personal. Shazam with the classic showing exactly why he wants to do that. Dapper was good for one as well. Gray dancing around the screen. Stellar's the one who gets that last shot, and it's 10s left alone. He's got some utility, but that's all he has. He drops. Round in favor of Luminosity, as you would expect, and now you're going to see Luminosity on a bonus. Sentinels should have full rifles across the board.
I love things like that. And that plays to what I said before on Ascent as well, is Sentinels are such a retake team, and it's funny to see what they come up with when they're doing that. There it was just, hide and wait. Usually, sometimes it's the full 5 retake. That time it was in the site, set a trap, and it almost worked. Almost worked if they didn't get swarmed that hard, and LG was on each other's hip. All right, we're going into our, what do we got here? 15th round? Let's see how they can play this.
Different spot for the camera. And it doesn't look like they're checking it out. Paranoia comes out, Blast Pack comes to do, they're going in hot and heavy, and you see this oftentimes on a bonus rift. Knowing that they have SMGs up against rifles, they want to bridge the gap so that the advantage from the rifle is no longer part of the fold, and that's why you see that play out. Look at all of the space they've taken away too. They're deep into the defender's spawn, but TenZ holds it off. He pushes his way through. Nobody puts TenZ in a corner.
Not at all. Also, don't line up when you're on TenZ. Almost looking like a collat there as he picks up two. The entirety of the team, 4 strong coming out of defender spawn. And it's going to be tough. Stellar doing a good job of putting up some D. There's another one. We're almost seeing the collats everywhere this round. And Sick and TenZ lock it up as the defuse is already going down by Shazam. Quick fingers on that one. 9-6. As Sentinels feeling real good to put a shutdown to Luminosity's start.
They do, and you know, for Luminosity there, Sentinels lost 2, so there was some financial damage that was done, and they got the spike down. So I mean, given the fact that it was a bonus, sure, you lost the round, but you walk away feeling pretty good, right? Knowing the momentum you were able to build at the end of the last half, how you've carried some of that into this next one. I think Luminosity are still, I don't know that they're going away quite yet, Riv.
Cover going out.
Looks like TenZ maybe focusing the orb here, running out of Ramen, seeing what he's trying to do. They do have ultimate for him coming in 1, but the team's going to stay all towards Ramen right now with Dapper. Looking over towards that other side. Oh, sorry, not Dapper. That's a Proto, as I don't switch my half brain. And they're just waiting again. Slow by LG here. Spike's going to be in the hands of Stellar. Already an ult there if they need to get a Sage Res throughout this round. And free ground and info gathered here towards Mailroom. Let's see how the execute goes with a Cypher Trap right in front they'll have to worry about.
You see a Proto still playing over by A. Waiting to see if anyone's going to push through. It's not like he's causing very much noise. So it's not enough to draw attention that way. Just making sure there's nothing on the other side. Roomba, nades, traded, damage done, but nobody drops. And I think here, understanding they have the middle of the map, or at least they think they do. Yeah, oh my gosh, Stellar. That was pretty.
I think they were hoping to get that kill there. We actually saw that Proto was starting to rotate out. He's going back to his position at ramp now. Might be able to catch Raze. TenZ actually gets into sight. Showstopper's out. Fires it high, and he's going to get the high ground on that one. Coming out Dapper a little too quick in the sight, thinking it's clear. A Proto coming up huge as he takes paint shells during the fight. And it's 92 HP Sick. A little bit of armor there as it's just falling off his body.
10 seconds left.
And there's a lot of low HP on this side. Does he get the shot? He does get the trade, but the round goes in favor of Luminosity Gaming with that final frag coming in from Moose. 9-7 as we about to have a tie game here as we're almost round for round.
We are, and I think we're seeing a very different look from Luminosity on the attacking side. And here's what I mean. On Ascent, we saw them play defaulty and very slow. Right, like it was defaulty and they'd stay back. They really weren't taking space, but look at, even in their defaults here, they're still taking the middle of the map. They're at least moving forward while they feel out the map, and that just opens up so many more options for you if you're Luminosity.
Shazam orb grabbing on A. Blade Storm for him. So they switch up the focus there, making sure they have more options to take this round down. We've seen a lot of walls going up by LG just to be a fake, just to get out the Raze nades, just to get out a bit of utility. This time they start to commit 3.
Oh, but
waiting for a peek. Dapper's not going to give it to him this time. Dapper got smoked the last time he tried to peek out, and they played him on a paranoia. He is not wanting that. Also, he's ready for them to come around the corner with a Bucky there, so a bit of a paradigm shift in his thought of process and how he's playing it here. And Stellar's just going to be creeping in. Battle Sage entry. Why not?
And you know, it's hard to state really the impact, how devastating. Stellar's getting out, bro. Get me the heck out of here. And it was that, and it was the Raze nade from TenZ, right? He got a kill with it, and that stopped. It was a delayed fake push, right? Like, kind of feeling it out, but that stuffed it. Now Luminosity has to think twice about it. Dapper still with
Shazam on the flank.
Playing around the smoke, and as you said, Shazam on that flank. He's made it,
left.
folks. Knock, knock. Doors
He's
open.
the round.
He's arrived to the play. He's got the Blade Storm. Good for one. Nice shot from Thief to stop it. Proto and Dre. No way.
The patience LG has once they're in there is, you know, the rotation comes in. If you would have planted, you would have kind of been set up with your positions, but they're still floating around the site, having variety of positions and working around the chaos. That Bucky coming up huge for Dapper. He had waited in the site so long for that opportunity, and it paid off in the end as soon as they waited for Shazam's flank. We'll have to see if a Proto and the team get a bit more on their rear on that 6 for finding out what happens during the middle of the round, because I'm sure Shazam and the rest of the team, if the rounds go that long again, they'll still be pushing.
This luminosity this round feels like the luminosity that we saw on Ascent on attack, right? Like wait, default, show a little, but not take space, not really do much else as they stack over towards A. You see 10s at top of the ramp. Once a little bit of Q comes out, got some room to use utility. But forget utility. Moose is going, oh no! Oh no, that sucks! Shazam rips him down from the sky, so doesn't even get a chance to shoot off the showstopper. That gets stuck instantly. Tense is still alive on top of the ramps. He has to back up. Thief takes care of him. It's a 4v4.
What a way to start the round. They've only gone a few times. This is now finally working out for them as they were able to get Chance. Shazam able to get 10s. The pressure they created here was great. Moose just kind of throwing himself into the fire. But that it could have worked, and it almost didn't, because they haven't been A enough to know where the precedence is of where people might be playing. So I like the fact that they were still able to just use that chaos to get through this on the side of LG. Now they've taken B. As they rotate around, coming from the top, dropping down. Sick trying to do what he can from the back of the site, but it's not going to work. An extra 300 in the bank for the team as that spike goes down. And that is actually a round that turned the tables for me and how I thought LG was going to be playing. Seeing Moose go in, it looked like miscoms. Nobody followed. There weren't follow-ups, but it was actually a great way to source where the control was in the A site. They find those 2 frags. The map is completely open because you know somebody's going to think A is the play, and they find themselves at B to win 9-9 now. It's all tied up.
Luminosity refusing to go away. It really was a beautiful round just a moment ago, but now Sentinels again here on the defense. They tend to put a lot of attention across the middle, stick with the wall. It's a bit delayed, but that's usually where that goes. And here we go once again. A little rinse, a little repeat. Luminosity showing presence on B.
Just a quick round. Should be Thief and the rest of the team picking up these frags here as he keeps the range at a good distance, knowing some, right there. Don't walk up on this. It's probably going to be a sheriff in your eyeballs. And they'll wait a long time for this. 3 ults ready on the side of Sentinels. When they do get ready and raring to go, they can put some rounds together, get somebody back on the map. You're just looking at Thief's Empress right here, and do not expect to see that this round. I mean, LG also can't give a ton of respect to a team on Eco as well. Like, it is Sentinels. You might get some tricky plays, but if you get it to 15 seconds and you're trying to fly into the site, I was going to say that's when a frenzy could get scary, but they keep the distance onto Zom. They take him out, and it's not going to matter with that Vandal shot beautifully coming out of Stellar.
Oh, you mentioned we hadn't seen a whole lot of A. They dial it up, and it seems like they dial it up at just the right time, right? 10 drops as well. Sick and Dapper left alone. They have sheriffs, right? They have, well, maybe not. Maybe they don't. Dapper has a Bucky as well in a 1v5. I mean, and we've seen, look, let's not sell it short here. We've seen the Bucky do some absolutely filthy things, but surely even the Bucky has a limit.
Giving it a check. Ready to go. Shells in. And he waits.
Just playing for exits here.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, there's one. Almost gets a second. Your boy Dre is able to quickly lock that one down on Dapper's position. And Luminosity Gaming take the lead here on Attack on Split for our second map in this best of 3. Sentinels with a pretty dominating second half, as we saw, coming in onto our first map. So we'll have to see what happens here. With LG picking Ascent and Sentinels picking Split, it looks like they're just saying, thanks for the pick. We'll take you on your own map.
Now, if we get there, Icebox has history between these two teams. They already carry some history in and of themselves, but Icebox in particular carries some weight. Hopefully we get to talk about that here in a few moments. Luminosity, as you mentioned, with a 1-round lead here in the second map. 10, nice shot from Shazam. 10 swings, the spike goes down. They get the damage done. Yeah, baby, Shazam gets another one as well. Luminosity down to 2.
And now, this is a great time for Shazam to start opping. He has not been doing it throughout much of the match. He can start to set this precedent that he's going to be changing position, controlling the map. This slows down LG even more. And look at the pressure that Sentinels is putting on a flawless round on round 20 as we move into round 21.
Very well played, and you're right, like, now you have to respect that. Right now you have to think Shazam's opping. Where the heck is he opping? You can't peek anything dry. And Tens also plays off of that so well. As soon as Shazam gets that first shot, that's his cue to swing, gets a huge impact kill, right? Because at that point, the spike doesn't go down. Shazam can't continue really to like have open season on members of Luminosity there. Right. So very well played by Sentinels to tie us up at 10 apiece, Riv.
This is a big spend here for Luminosity. We saw that in their stats. A little peek from Tens. Always loves to. When is he not going to chance in the early part? Even with his showstopper up, Tens always playing on the edge. Love to see it. You're the chef at the ramen place. Just this is the view he gets all the time. It's terrifying. You gotta be careful. Sometimes they're just throwing blinds right in your face and they run away with your ramen.
People gotta eat, man.
Yeah, this is true. Thief may eat this round. Empress is up. It could be a good round to activate and try to be something big for the team. Walls drop there finally in mid. And there's so much more happening with that wall. Instead of what Sentinels would do to Stellars. They'd pop Stellars, they'd walk up through it. Here, Sick puts his up, all pieces are taken down, he's still here with some utility, and now they're just finally breaking through, and Sick it is. A great crossfire with Dapper, one coming in, and not sure how that missed, but Sick's able to trade one back. A flawless through, another flawless. Sentinels is online.
Oh boy. So I think the other thing is, you rewind a couple of rounds ago. Right, Luminosity fought for middle of the map. A Proto was over on A. He took some space. They were able to work their way into vents onto A. Everything worked out great. But this time, it wasn't like you said, Riv. It wasn't just the wall. They invested presence there, heavy presence, knowing that Luminosity wanted to play around that area of the map. So well played. It looks like we're at a quick pause. Luminosity kind of understanding, presumably, the gravitas of the situation. As they try to collect themselves, that's a terrifying turtle.
Indeed, it is.
And Speed Demon under it is, I mean, icing on the cake.
That's what you got to do. You saw the scoreboard there for a moment. Everybody's fragging all around, especially on Sentinels. Pretty much everybody was in the double digits there for frags, or at least at 9, and maybe a few just behind on the side of LG. It's just coming down to those last moments, and a lot of these rounds not even getting the plant till after. This is aggression. They're finding each other and they're playing it down to the shots, not the retakes, and it's been interesting.
This map delivering off of again, just this calendar year, folks. These two teams have been 3 times, right? And this map showing why the series were so good in the past, and it looks like
LG's had pretty good record there, right?
Yeah, 2-1.
Yeah, it's interesting to see.
2-1, a win at the Nurture Gamers Winter Championships, and the first bout in closed 1. The second bout went in favor of Sentinels.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, Ten's in a great spot there to stop Lose from blasting across. The wall goes up, but Ten's an anchor, gets another one with the nades. Yeah, he drops a great res from Stellar, though. It looks like they want to commit, Riv. They want to go to B.
Oh my god, the 10's nade and 6 slow combo was disgusting. They're just shutting down. They're inside the head of Luminosity Gaming here. Let's see if they can keep it up. LG in a decent spot. An op to fall straight down would not be in favor of Shazam, and he's just going to look to pepper a few bullets into that hell area. This is probably going to be a save here for them, as it's a pretty good econ for them to bring into the next round. Zombs coming around slowly for spawn for a few more exits, as if one of these goes through, there's a chance, there's a push, but this may not happen.
Zoms also, keep an eye on him unchecked.
Oof.
All right, Op offline. At this point, Zoms just kind of like goes to do something. And Proto takes care of him as well. So Op no longer a factor. All right, so finances, that's what I wanted to keep an eye on. Financially, even with that going the wrong way,
Yeah.
Sentinels, because of how they've been able to put together the last couple of rounds, still have enough to get Shazam and Op, and he has a Blade Storm in his back pocket.
Look at those 420 bombs fighting each other there at the top. I love it. Like I said, everybody's participating here, doing what they can to keep the team level, and it is 11-11 because of that. All tied up here as we move into round 23. Paint shells, per usual. We'll start off here. And the slows as well for both sides are just, that's becoming such an impactful area to start this off, especially now when you're trying to harvest those alt orbs towards the end. That could be big for Moose to be able to get in there and be able to grab one of those. Well, peaks come out. They got Shazam in a bad spot.
Nice.
Thief is able to shoot. He dives into the shots that are happening towards mid. How unfortunate. But Tens is able to trade one back to slow down the bleed here at the start of round 23.
And I don't know if Tens picked up the Op there. He doesn't have it currently, but he knows that Op is down, and, well, it's freaking Tens, right? Like, he's pretty dang good with it, too. But Luminosity here, they've reset, flipped the map. You see Dre still playing over by Ramen, make sure nobody's flanking around as they want to go towards A, but Sentinels seem to be pretty wise to it. They've dropped Tens over here. They have Zoms here as well, and that should be the cue. If he sticks it, all right. Got info, though. That should be the cue. They're going to go in. Great paranoia, though. Oh, the paranoia was so good. Dapper was there on the flank, but Moose goes in aggressive with the showstopper, and they have to respect it. He has to back up. He spotted him. Doesn't have to get the kill here because the space has been gained.
Moose finds him. Zoms goes down. That could have been the thing to really change a lot of this round if that corner was not checked. Tens heading into the site. A Proto has been on point when he has been called upon. 35 HP. Now in a 3v1. Neural uplink goes down. He's not going to be able to do too much work to get back into the site. It was a tough call, but you got to build him up for the moment. Great job by Luminosity Gaming to make this work.
Woo, baby. This is going down to the wire. Sentinels, and the thing is, Riv, you know, we talk about the fight for B lobby control, right? They invest a lot, you know, the slow, the raise nade, the Cypher Cam, and the satchel charge that's supposed to be there to counter it, you know, blah, blah, blah. Rigmarole over there. But then there's the Op across the middle of the map that Shazam has played a couple of times now, wisely leering out, understanding that that's there. I think the fight for map control is actually going to continue to lean this way.
Luminosity wanting to stretch it to that third. Sick now playing towards that vent. He's not going to actually have a mailroom play this time, so he's kind of setting up his position differently, wanting to find the back of at least one, probably pull back out of that position, rotate back around towards the B side. Spammed right through the smoke as your boy Dre calculates that one with a little trigonometry and fires a beautiful shot to connect with the head of Sick. That's the round. That's exactly what they needed to. That's res down immediately, right, Doug? That's tough.
And wall off the board, right? Like the map is open. They have so many options, and of course, ironically enough, as I say that, they aren't playing the middle of the map, but given what Sentinels have done across the middle of the map in the past, you have to understand that there's a very good chance there's more presence than just Sick.
I think Shazam may have heard a little something there as he backs up. There was very quiet on the side of LG. Smokes and the rest ready. You can see the Omen getting into position here as your boy Dre sets this up. And Shazam ready in the back of the site. They have to get in. They have to take him out. He gets two, looking for a third. Here's the judge, and he's gonna find Moose as he lays down the verdict. Get out of here. What else is he gonna be able to do? That's too long of a range for the judge, and your boy Dre is finally able to stop him, choosing which to peek. What a disgusting choice there. There's only so much you could do as Dapper and the rest of the team come up big. Sentinels will bring it to overtime in map 2.
So much, right? Like, so much. The fact that the Blade Storm had as much value as it did is enormous, right? He was able to delay. He was able to get kills and then really kind of set things sideways for Luminosity. The pick onto Thief there, absolutely devastating. And then this, right? Just absolutely beautiful. But Dre does his best. I mean, he does his damnedest to make something happen. And ultimately, it's Dapper. Riv, I think I think this is the first overtime of Masters, is it not?
I believe. Now you got me, because I can't answer that because there are so many overtimes in Twitch Rivals. My brain is so just mixed with games right now. Yeah, we had some 30 rounds there, and then I watched the other game yesterday where 100 Thieves and lower semifinals went 32 rounds with I forget now who, as I cast the game. But yeah, there's too many. But I think you're right. I'm gonna go with that answer as we start off our first overtime round of Masters. That's on Doug. And we're going to see what they do this round. 3 to get your ultis usually. And I don't see any ult orbs being focused right off the bat. They are trying to push up a little bit on the side of Luminosity to get themselves out into B here. And you can see your boy Dre already on that roll.
Yeah, and look, we saw this last time, but this time Sentinels wise to it. They were able to trade one out, but the wall goes up towards B, and then they push down B lobby, right? Forcing Sentinels into an uncomfortable situation, but this time it's handled so well by them, as now they have B lobby control. Now they can work their way in. They also have Heaven because Shazam has taken so much space away. But Stellar, big kill onto Shazam.
Good to hold that position. Everything we've seen from B Heaven has been noise before any of that action happened. So Stellar with a lot of confidence to just hold that angle, getting the best of them. And Dapper is going to be able to drop Dre as he throws out the smoke. 3v2 here. Who's going to be able to get the advantage in overtime? Spike is being planted currently by Dapper as they set up a little bit of defense here. The retake looks decent.
Wow.
They don't have too much destruction utility, but they do have a lot of that intel that they can use, and it helps.
Yeah, the retake just went from decent to, I mean, almost impossible to mess up. And they know exactly where, well, maybe not. All right, he's taken out. Stellar gets three big kills on that round there, including that opener on a Shazam, and like, the amount of control that Sentinels had on that site because of his ability to get into Heaven, because he was looking to really double down on it and get into the defender spawn, that would have almost secured the round, Riv.
You never leave it up to chance. A lot of good play there from LG, and they're doing it again where they're coming in as a team to take these off to make sure that it's not Sentinels securing these rounds. We'll see what happens. Sentinels looking to focus the defensive intel over towards B. They'll keep Raze as well to make sure they can use the nade to get a fake plan off. And Spike's down to start this off. It's going to be a real long round and a little bit shorter maybe because Sick comes up very quick with a kill there. Throws up wall instantly at A as you saw Sentinels trying to grab info at A immediately for the quick rotation back. With that death, it looks like the committal is towards B.
Oh boy. Ten's not able to do any damage. Dapper gets one, but Stellar trades it out. The heal's going to come out as well. They're going to get on to B. The wall's going to go up, and that should be plenty. But Sentinels here looking to put Luminosity away at a numbers disadvantage. Sick slowly creeping his way across as the spike goes down. Luminosity in control. Sick has to go aggressive. A Protoss clean shots are there, and it all falls onto the shoulders of Zoms. To avoid Icebox, to avoid map 3, to try to get us to a second round of overtime. Fake Telly into his smoke to keep Luminosity guessing. The blind fire through that. Zoms continues to creep across. A Proto does it, baby. We're going to map 3.